Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first video coverage of the show, Flat Out with Komo. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. I am so excited to be here. I don't know why I'm smiling like this for crazy, but yeah, I am really, really excited to do this. We've taken it up a notch, and without you guys, I keep on saying I will not be here. Thank you for joining us. With no further ado, let's get right into it. Oh, before we get right into it, you can see me putting on a nice match here. Yeah, this is Spank Apparel. This episode is sponsored by two clothing apparel, Spank Apparel and Zeus World. They came together to do a collab for the show, and yeah, I'll be leaving a link in the description to their social media pages, so do check them out. As we wait on for our guest today, it's been a crazy run so far with what has happened in Nigeria. They said the festival was postponed, but now we have news that the festival is going to hold in January. I'm looking forward to that because you know Como has to step out and do some stuff. But yeah, it's been crazy so far. Nigeria has not been the best, but here we are. We keep moving, we keep moving, we keep growing. With no further ado, let me introduce our guest for today. Is a fitness and health consultant, the founder of Grow Kindnesses. He's also the founder of Grow Basketball Academy. So people should not think that he's away from the basketball line. He knows this thing. We talked about health so much, and we really need to get to why people do not perform well and how to take care of their bodies at the end of the day. Because as athletes, when we retire now, our body really tells. So let's
Yeah, true.
get Pelumi on. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Pelumi Adesina. Adesina, yes.
Hey, Jesus. After how many years?
Yeah, thank you for joining us, man. I really appreciate
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Komonibo Victor. I'm really honored to be on this platform and to be on this particular episode of Flat Out with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Before we get into the scope, how has it been since the pandemic and how have you been coping, getting your stuff going and all?
Jesus. I think adulting is a scam. So, adulting is a scam for real. The truth of the matter is, I think 2020 has been a bittersweet experience based off the fact that Lagos has usually been fast paced, and now people having to like slow down and now pay more attention to things and and evolving basically. Like there was a lot of changes this year. Now that the world is leaning towards digital,
Yeah.
the digital angle and agriculture is becoming more relevant than usual. And with the whole NSAS protest and the back and forth and everything, I think it's been a very, very eventful year. Not to even mention Corona. It's like Corona just comes out at night now while everybody's asleep in Lagos.
That's something that we have gotten used to. They say
I'm telling you.
we go to the market, we do every other thing, but we can't play sports. Does that make any
I'm telling you. Like I like to say, the truth of the matter is we don't know the truth of the matter. Oh, man.
Anyway, let's get right
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Most people we are used to seeing you play American football, but not everyone knows that you actually play
Hey, Jesus.
basketball. That's one thing. And we know that you're a fitness instructor and also an health consultant.
Mm.
But I would like you to give us a little background on how it all started, your journey into sports and studying human kinetics.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting journey because it's been a lot of bumps along the line, along the way. It's been a lot of persistence and consistency. People telling you can't do stuff, and eventually you're like, oh, I will actually show you guys that I can do this. During my time, I was a running guard. It was not the best. Uh, I think I focused on my strengths and I stuck with that. So I started first with playing soccer. I played a lot of sports, and I think my superpower is people and sports basically, because it takes me little or no time to understand people, and it takes me almost with no effort to understand the basics of sports. Now playing it at a higher level, I think, is another story entirely for another episode. But yeah, but I've been able to at least thrive in playing volleyball, also in playing basketball, and currently in American football. I can proudly say we're one of the pioneers for American football in Nigeria. And yeah, we're still pushing based off the fact that we have a lot of pros and cons, which is attached to every sport, especially when it comes to sport development and foundational sports in Nigeria generally. We never really have that sport to for people to actually just push, but we move, as we say.
We move, definitely. You're playing both football, American football, and basketball. What was your biggest challenge, or what is your biggest challenge being a multi-sport
Mm. I think the question should be, what is the biggest challenge being an athlete at all in Nigeria? Like, it's a lot of things. Like, it's a lot of things between balancing your responsibility as a person first, and also being relevant in the sport you play, combining studies or work, however the case may be. But the most important thing is getting your body right. So the challenge is basically has been ability to actually stay relevant and also get your body right. And the fact that most of the sports we play, we don't get the recognition we deserve.
True.
We don't get the recognition we deserve generally for every sport in Nigeria. It's more political than the lifestyle of an athlete itself. So it's kind of like a case of where the elephant fights, the grass suffers. In this case, the athletes are the grass, and the elephants are like the so-called governing bodies of sports, which I don't like to say, because I don't feel we have a sports industry in Nigeria. Same way we don't have a fitness industry. Everybody's just catching cruise.
You can put it that way. Some weeks
I'm
ago,
telling you.
I
I'm
interviewed
telling you.
two heavyweights in the Nigerian basketball scene, and that was just to give
Mm.
closure about the issues with the Nigerian Basketball Federation. It's really bad because we, the players, are the ones who suffer the most.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah.
It
It's
is really
terrible.
bad. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll move from that. Let's move away from what you do or what you've done to what you are doing now, and what the big thing about the Grow Kindnesses. Yeah, I know you started up Grow Kindnesses a while ago, and what better the
Yeah.
idea behind it?
Mm. So with Grow Kinesis, I kind of like got tired of the fact that. So what we do with Grow Kinesis generally is Grow Kinesis is very versatile, but the main focus is on it's a fitness and elder living company. So what we do is we actually do things the right way. By the right way, I mean in this business, there's a lot of quacks out there, and there's this fitness fad of if you're well built, you're a fitness instructor, and people actually go to school, pay school fees, and do this for a living. Then you,
I cause
you enter gym, you lift 100 kg, you buff, then you're a celebrity trainer. That's the word, celebrity trainer. It's
yeah,
a lot. So what Grow Connect is doing, or is focused on doing, is debunking all this fitness nonsense and the fitness fad, and also exposing quacks in the business, because eventually if the people were supposed to point in the right direction and be their psychologists, be their best friends, be their doctor, because preventive medicine is the way now. And what fitness is all about is what working out is all about is all preventive medicine, getting your nutrition right, doing some type of movement, coupled together with however it is you rest or and how you balance your life. It's all preventive medicine. and which is what we are focused on. And we are focused on doing it the right way. Our mission is actually to be like the main fitness hub in Nigeria, as that space has not been filled yet. So where we like answer every of your health related, every of your fitness and healthy living related what's that word now? Related issues.
Okay.
Not issue per se, but at least let's put it that way first. But yeah, that's what we're trying to get to.
All right, great. A lot of athletes don't know what should be done and how things should be done to perform effectively. It has happened. We've seen it over and over where people just get injured for no reason, are unable to stay
Yes,
healthy
yes.
and that. Now, as a kinesiologist, because I know you study this thing, we went to school together. At least, even if I don't know that about you, we shall went to school together, and you know book more than I
See this one.
do.
Yeah.
Can you give us like an in-depth look into the process of preparing our bodies for physical activity?
So, as an athlete, I think our first problem is whenever we join as a what's the word? As an individual athlete or a team athlete, whenever we join a team and we start to play, the first thing that is focused on is the talent.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to tell you, oh, do this to get there. Like, there's no connection. And most of the coaches, like, I remember when I used to play soccer, our coach would tell us, run 40, run 40 times around the track. What are we doing 40 times around the track for? We don't know the reason. Everybody is panting. And that's when, after that 40 times around the track, that's when you now start. You now start real training. Where's the energy to not even play the real training? Eh? When we now get to competitions, we are all fagged up, like fatigue and everything don't already set in, because there's no plan. I can't forget that man. The man will sit down with his bottle of whatever he's drinking at that time and be eating everything and just say, oh yeah, everybody start running. Where are we running to? Where are we running to? Like, that's why you just see a lot of us just end up messing up. And at the earlier stage of my life as an athlete, when I did not know all this basic stuff, I actually suffer from dehydration and hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia is a situation when you have low blood sugar.
Okay.
So I suffer from that situation. Why? Because I didn't know the proper phases we have to working out. As at then, all we're focused on is let's get the job done and just move away from it. Sorry. But the main thing is everything is supposed to be structured. Movement is everything, and everything evolves around movement. Whether you're running, whether you're walking, whether you're doing 360 windmill, dunk, or whatever, behind the back, anything, everything is movement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing as basic as everything is just movement.
Yeah.
We can call it any name. Like, you move forward, you move backwards, everything is movement. Like, I'm telling you. So understanding how your body is supposed to accommodate that movement is what separates us apart from every other regular person as an athlete. Okay. You get, like, understanding the way your body functions, and which is what most of us don't know. Like, we don't pay attention to our body first. You have to understand and pay attention to your own body. It's more, I can't call it intuition. That would sound so lame. Or it would be a lay word, actually. But in this case, I think I'll borrow and use that word for the sake of everybody that did not do kinesiology, because we can't be using what's the name, medical terminologies, and yeah, we actually lose people.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's progressive. Like, even if you're going to drift into weight training, you should have a plan. We should have a goal. Like, okay, what am I trying to achieve as an athlete? Am I trying to be faster? Am I trying to be bigger, to have that shock absorber as the American football player. Like for me now, I'm trying to gain as much weight as possible, which is almost impossible. This man can testify. Yeah, it's been a dream for how many years?
Stop putting me out there like this.
It's been a dream for how many years? But the truth of the matter is, we are actually in better shape than most athletes in Nigeria because we understand the intricacies and the importance of movement and taking care of your body and everything you actually need to do to be an athlete, which evolves around your eating, your workout, and your workout ethic, and how you work out, most importantly, because people don't know how to work out.
True.
Athletes don't know how to work out.
Mm-hmm.
We think, oh, if I go to the basketball court and shoot 200 free throws, that's a great workout. Oh, bro, I've gotten it now. I can go and play. But what happens to your endurance when you have to play 40-something minutes on the court?
My God.
With every play lasting for how many seconds? It's not soccer. It's basketball. Soccer, you can be in one part of but that's another story for another time. You can be on one part of the field and the ball will not get to you. If you are playing on a team like Baka, now goalkeeper having a see ball for good 40 minutes. But basketball, you're moving, whether you're on offense or defense, so everybody is running at the same time. Mm-hmm. Imagine doing short runs for back and forth. Short clocks are for 24 seconds. Imagine doing that back and forth straight out for 15 minutes or 12 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever level you're playing at.
Uh-huh.
And all you do for practice as an athlete is come out and shoot 200 free throws. How does that translate into your games?
Steph Curry.
Even Steph Curry right now, you need to see him recently. That guy is buff now. Like, Baba don't enter gym.
He has to be.
Baba don't move away from... The truth of the matter is everything is mostly mental, but the physical actually supports the mental. As an athlete, if your mental health is not up to par, I'm sorry, there's nothing your physical can do. But still, your physical will fuel your mental. If mentally you're strong and your body can carry it out, you will just be mentally strong, and that's it. No coach is waiting for any mentally strong team. What's the name? Any mentally strong player to come and activate the team. Although you might have your role to play as a team player, but the truth of the matter is, are you relevant? When it's down to that last, getting the bucket last 5 seconds or scoring a touchdown on the last drive, no time on the clock, all that stuff, are you relevant? And what really matters is the fourth quarter. And if you don't have that energy as an athlete, you don't have that endurance, you don't have that mental capacity to push through, then you're just an athlete.
Yeah.
You're just an athlete. The reason LeBron will be LeBron is because of the kind of work ethic he puts into his body, into his mental aspect, into his nutrition, into everything that evolves around him being an athlete first.
True. Very true.
So I think the narrative we need to change is how to properly work out as an athlete. And first, you need to know what you're trying to achieve first. Like, know where you are, know your strengths, know your weakness as an athlete. Know your strength physically, know your strengths mentally. Know your strengths when it comes to the game. Know your strengths when it comes to your body. So when you focus on that strength, now you can now build your weakness along the road. But the problem is, all of us, we're just moving. We're moving with no plan. No plan. Ask any athletes now that, oh, guy Alpha, make I see the program, the workout program where you're there on. Let me see, what is your nutrition like? You'll be like, Amy, Gala ati Pepsi Momulata. In English, I drank Gala and Pepsi all through the day.
See, let's not even go into that, I beg.
We were guilty. We are actually still guilty.
Yes.
We're actually still guilty. But the truth of the matter still remains the truth of the matter. It's not rocket science. We have to do certain things to get to certain level. If you're going to be an elite, if you're going to play at an elite level, if you're going to play at the highest level, for your sport performance to actually get to where it needs to get to, you have to pay attention to these little intricate things that people just ignore. And I don't blame our Nigerian athletes. It's because we don't have that culture.
That's true.
We don't have that culture. Every basketball player think, if I'm going to the gym, I'll soon become a bodybuilder. I won't be able to play basketball again. No.
Your body right.
I'm telling you, as an athlete, you're focused on explosive strength, which sets you apart from bodybuilders. As an athlete, the way we work out is ability to move heavier weights as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
The difference with bodybuilders is they want to enjoy every rep and squeeze in as much as they just keep bulking, just keep loading the muscles. Yeah. But what we were focused on as athletes is supposed to be our fast twitch muscles, because that's what we need. We need the explosive strength, and getting that will actually give you a lot of what's the name? It's a great process for injury prevention.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's a great aerobics class is enough for ladies. It's essential for you too. But all guys now can't attend aerobics class. They'll be like, na woman they do them. Fitness cuts across everything. Yoga is not for sissies. Yoga is actually important for your mobility and your flexibility.
Yo, I got into that like some months ago, and I will lie, my body don't change. Even as I
tell you,
my body don't change.
I did tell you. Oh, the thing is, yeah, we have a lot of unlearning to do as athletes. Even at the elite level, even at our MBA level, so-called MBA level, sorry. you see coach after a practice, you see the coaches and the player hanging out drinking beer together. After practice. I've seen that countless times. I'll be like, what are we doing?
Oh my Lord.
What are we doing? Now the coach will now come and be shouting at you after many bottles of beers. We and I don't drink together, and he's expecting you to be superhuman on the court.
It's the culture. It's the part of it.
No. And I go drink pepper soup and beer together. You can't reach Kenny. You expect them say me run fast break. Transition. May they run like flash up and down. How the beer go make them run?
My brother, nothing we no go see. Nothing we no go see. But yeah,
how the beer no go make them run?
It really needs to change, and I think it is from conversations like this that people get to understand that things need to change and what.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving forward, you touched on this a little, but I would like you to get into a little more details with it. The importance of diet and nutrition on our bodies and how we perform as athletes. I want you to really elaborate on that.
So for athletes, like I said, nutrition plays a major role. And if you don't understand where you're coming from body-wise, and if you don't understand what your health is like some people, they're just going through the motions. They don't understand that, okay, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. Like there are certain classes of food that we as athletes, we can't neglect because they are really important. Proteins are important. Like every classes of food are actually important for athletes. Now, getting those macros and working out your macros and making sure that, okay, this is what I'm trying to achieve. Am I trying to maintain the weight I have currently, or am I trying to gain more, or am I trying to drop my weight? All these are collaborated. Like they all work together, nutrition wise. Now, we don't have a meal prepping culture, which most athletes need. Yeah. We should always prep, like we should always plan our meal. We should always plan our meal because most of the time we're outside. We don't know, we don't have time for this, we don't have time for that. So most of the time we don't eat.
Like today.
Like we don't eat. I'm saying all this because I'm actually talking to myself too. Like I'm guilty. I'm guilty, but with the stress of Lagos, sure you eat. After I spent like 3 hours for traffic,
Yeah, before I
the
reach out.
gala self is losing weight. gala, gala, when they buy, don't lose weight. So how people go chop? Gala is losing weight.
My Lord.
Carbonated drink is a problem. So where are we heading to?
It's sad. It's sad. Nigeria no go kill us. We go survive.
I'm telling you, everything is just designed for you to fail, sort of, as an athlete. Everything is just designed for you to fail.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, with nutrition, basically, once you now have an understanding of what you're trying to achieve, like there's always a template out there. Like you can always invest in yourself. Like I know we don't get paid as an athlete, and those that get paid, they just get paid incentives. Like for American football at our own level now, we even pay to play.
Cash money. Saves you.
I'm telling you, we pay to play. We run Pan-African games and you have to pay to go and play them. So it's not a matter of how good you are. It's a matter of how heavy your pocket is.
Your pocket, my guy.
Which I don't blame the system. I don't blame our coaches, rather I blame the system, because there's no system put in place for foundational or grassroots sports or to encourage any form of new sport in Nigeria. Although we claim we have a platform, I don't know whether it's Kowoje platform, because we never even see the money. We don't see anything. We don't see, but eventually people claim they do something. All paperworks, but we're used to it anyway. We're used to it anyway. Still yet to move.
What's my head?
See, yeah, we move. But the truth of the matter is, yeah, we have to look out for ourselves as athletes. No matter what, always first understand what you have when it comes to nutrition. What do you have access to? There's something called metabolic eating. Is eating according to what your body needs.
Okay.
Now, how do you calculate that? You can invest in yourself. We have YouTube, for crying out loud. I learned American football from YouTube.
You're proud.
As crazy as it sounds, I learned American football from YouTube.
You, my friend.
You, Komo. You, Komo. How many full games? Where did you watch games from? Or did you have any coach that had to like just sit you down and be like, this is how to do it? We never really had coaches that sat us down and said, okay, this is your strength, this is your weakness. Let's work on your weakness.
Right.
All they saw was, Komo sabi shoot. Pelumi if you run. Oh yeah, Komo if you pass the ball. Oh yeah, put all of them together. Talent, Egbawiri. Egbawiri. But they never, after the game finishes, it's more like, okay, everybody go your mama house. Then, we have game tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Come again. Bawiri. If you get injured, they bring out another person.
Crazy, man.
If we get the next in line, it's always the next man in line with Nigerian coaches. Yeah. Once you get injured, that's when you know that, okay, you're replaceable. And that's what most athletes don't pay attention to. You're more focused on impressing the coach as to paying attention to your own body. There are some games that you feel like you can't play because your body can't carry it. But because you're trying to make a point or not lose your jersey, you now get into the game. You get injured and still not make the point, and you now lose your jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything is interwoven. The physical aspect, the mental aspect, the nutrition itself. Right. The nutrition itself. Whatever you get is what you should plan. I know it's difficult, it's tough, but nutrition is not that hard. Well, it's hard. It's hard, but still, it's not that hard. Whatever you have is what you have. I feel like you can always plan it. If you know that it's about 3 times a day you have access to, find a way and tweak the EBA. If the EBA used to have plenty water, reduce the thick one in the morning. Make them thick for afternoon, because you don't say that afternoon will go sit for your belly well. It's your night. So, I'm telling you, There's always something. There's always a way around everything.
Definitely.
There's always a way around everything. The way and this manner is where we come in. So if you feel you need to know, you need a proper meal plan, you want to start working out for sport performance, you can reach out to me. Komo will share my details, so I can design a program for you as an athlete and also work with you hand in hand and just hold your hand and walk you through the whole process. But for now, this is just on the surface based off our interview here.
Yeah.
Now, if you need to know more, though I'm advertising myself on your show.
Bro, kindness is for the win. Is accepted.
I'm telling you, for those people that are always asking what's the meaning of grow. So what inspired it basically is grow is actually a coaching model in sports.
Yeah.
In sports. Yeah, it's a coaching model in sports. Now, grow is the acronym stands for goals and reality. R is for reality, O is for options and opportunity, basically. And the W is for work ethic and your will to work. So the connection to that is, first, you need to set your goals. When you now set your goals, you want to be realistic. Okay, where am I? Like, what am I trying to achieve? What do I have right now? Like, the only person that can tell you the truth is you yourself.
Self-evaluation.
Is you yourself.
Very important.
Now, when I'm telling you, when you now focus on being realistic with yourself, you now look at the opportunities you have around you and what are the options. Everything involves around each other. What are the options as to what am I open to as an athlete? Where do I have my exposure to? What am I open to as per my nutrition? What am I open to? What option do I have when it comes to working out? Do I have my Ibile gym, or do I have access to a regular gym, or do I have access to my body weight? Now, using that, you now couple it up. Your work ethic now sums it up, which is the W for the grow.
Yeah.
Your work ethic and your willingness to actually push through. Because the truth of the matter is, if it's not intrinsic, like if the motivation is not coming from inside you, nobody can push it.
I swear down. That thing is really, I don't know. A lot of people think the extrinsic motivation is
it's not a fad. It's really important.
More than that.
Getting in the mix is easy. Staying in the mix is the problem. Getting in the mix is easy. Staying in the mix is problem. Now, the kinesis part, I like to talk about the literal meaning, because everybody knows kinesis. Not everybody, basically. Let's break it down. So, kinesis has to do with movement, basically. So for me, I like to look at the psychological aspect of the philosophical aspect of kinesis. It's more like setting a goal, achieving it. So progression, like seeing that, okay, I'm making progress. As to the general meaning of kinesis, which has to do with movement as a result of stimulus.
Yeah.
But now translate that philosophical. Seriously, why am I speaking English like this?
What's wrong with this guy?
Well, yeah. So don't mind me. I'm very, very unserious, and I can be serious at the same time. I blend it up. Yeah. So yeah. This life is Lagos is too hard for you not to be too serious.
My guy, we know about it.
I'm telling you, and as Nigerians, I think we thrive in just making jokes out of serious situation. I think it's a Nigerian thing. We're blessed with it, Sha.
It keeps us alive.
We're blessed with it. I'm telling you, we're blessed with it. So basically, that's what grow kinesis entails for most of us asking those questions. It's not just on the surface. There's a deeper meaning to it, and if you understand the meaning, you yourself, like, I want the name came about just to be a motivation on its own. You get, when you're like looking at the models and you're looking at the acronyms, you're like scratching the surface with it. You don't get that in-depth meaning to it as to when you actually know what it's all about. So yeah, moving on. We move.
Dope. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So most people do not take recovery and rest so seriously, and
Oh man,
we are
tell
also
me about
guilty
it.
as much as
Tell me about
that
it.
we are also guilty, even though we know so much about these things. But I would like you to talk
Mhm.
about that particular process because it is very crucial for an athlete to be the best he can be.
Mm. I said something earlier before, like getting in the mix is easy.
Yeah.
Staying in that mix is the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what makes you stay in that mix as an athlete, regardless of whatever work ethic you put in, is rest. If you don't get good rest, there's no way your body can recover. There's no way your body will be able to now process the information of all the old waka we don't carry and waka.
As
You get, it's like a hard drive. That might not be a great analogy, but still, it's like an hard drive. Like if you keep loading, you go reach one time where we say, the space go they filled up, and if you now start trying to take out information and just deleting and trying to put more information in it, from the process of removing it from your laptop and putting it into another person's laptop, if you carry virus or crash, it's the same way with our body. I don't know if you can relate with this, but that's the analogy that came to my head right now. I'm sorry, you have to accept it like that.
works for us.
You have to accept it like that.
Works for us.
But back to what I'm saying. Like, we are fond of just loading, and loading. And offloading is actually a very important part
Yeah.
of sport performance. Many of our athletes, we just work out, we have a 5 days plan. Many of us, the so-called hungry ones, because we use the word hungry, we bastardize that word hungry athletes. When you're an hungry athlete, like the real hungry athletes, I say they focus on yourself
Yeah.
and you are getting results from it. But Niger terminology of hungry athletes is, I'm working 7 to 7. I know they sleep. And they go court. Work out in the morning, go play set for evening. Work out in the morning, go play set for evening. Go gym for early morning, go this, go do that. But your body goes into an overkill or overuse if you don't take time out for recovery. In fact, the most you get out of every workout you do as an athlete is when you rest.
Yeah.
Is when you rest. Let's even take it deeper again. If you learn a play at practice,
Yeah.
is when you get home, you are able to process that play and get your head around it. That's when it sinks in, not the moment at which you're learning that play. At that moment, your coach will just be shouting at you because he wants you to get it. But the moment you take a break, it sinks in. Then the next day, you're like doing it like it's at the back of your hand.
Yeah.
That alone should tell us how our body operates. Not only our body, how our brain transmits information to the rest of the body. Our brain has what is the name? Our brain, every organ in our body, they have like a brain of their own.
Yeah.
Our muscles have like the brain of their own. If you don't stretch properly, if you don't get rest, there's no way you get the most out of that deadlift you did.
Exercises. Yeah.
That's why you get home, you'll be like, my back still they pay me for the day before yesterday. Make I go lift this thing again. 120 kg. Oh, they go.
Body on override.
I did tell you. But in the actual sense, you're just like killing yourself because you're not resting. This is a note to self. I won't lie, because I also do it a lot. But at least once you know this and you can implement it, then the sky is usually the limit for athletes. Yeah. That's why Vince Carter can play for as long as he's playing for. Do you think he's just playing because he's talented? No.
20 years ain't no bullshit, bro.
I'm telling you, 20 years is 20 years of focusing on yourself,
Yeah, that's a lot.
of spending money. on yourself. We need to start, athletes needs to start looking out for themselves. Even the so-called athletes that get, the so-called, what's the name? Our so-called athletes that gets paid. The money they get paid with is focused on responsibility around them. As to you putting that money into it's our body is an investment as athletes. Your body are the main investment. And if you don't take care of that investment, your business will fold up. What business? The business of your body.
Yeah, definitely.
Before you know you're taking the back seat, bro. Like you just see one 15-year-old boy every do
Great.
windmill
Right.
behind the back. Coach will be like,
Hmm.
you know what? I need you to just mentor the team. Don't worry. You don't have to play.
Exactly. Yeah,
I
coach.
need you to just mentor the team. You don't have to play. And the thing is, and people don't know this. They just think I'm Agba now. So I know I've retired. I'll just come in and shoot free throw if there's foul. But you don't know that you're taking the back seat in the bus.
Just
Many of our professional athletes don't have a long-term what's the name career because they don't focus on these little things that matters.
yeah. Yes, intangibles, the intricacies.
Intangibles, I think that's the word. Yeah, intangibles that we don't pay attention to. But yeah,
We'll get there.
sorry, we can talk about this over and over again. Like this is a whole flat out like a whole full season conversation. We will never exhaust this thing.
I swear, we can go back.
I'm telling you, you can bring me on every episode and we have a different things
Def-
we have different things to say every
Absolutely,
time on this topic.
absolutely. I was talking.
Because you cannot stress the importance of sport performance in correlation with physical activity and your nutrition. Your
Mhm.
body generally as an athlete.
Needs to be taken care of. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about.
Yeah.
I was talking to some kids about getting health insurance. That as even if you don't have money, like just get something. The most basic plan, whatever it is, get something for yourself. Don't wait for someone to get you on the ride or do certain stuff. Just do something for yourself. And it's crazy as much as we have spoken about this, not everybody still have health insurance for themselves at this stage. And you want to really play at the highest level. Who is going to do all those wala for you? Who exactly is going to do that? So yeah, we keep moving regardless. We get to the next phase. We keep educating ourselves and help people grow. So yeah, we are almost at the end of the interview, but before we go, let's talk about your Grow Basketball Academy and what it's been like running the academy with those boys, because I know a lot of them.
Hey, that's a good word. I mean, that's a good question. Rather, that's a good question. Uh, is it's been blissful. It's been a lot. It's been a lot because the rationale behind starting Grow Academy to mentor to mentor student athletes because I know how difficult it is to find the balance between going to school and actually trying to study. So a lot of these kids, their parents are turning between go and face your book and leave sports alone. And these boys are actually talented.
Yeah,
Coupled with the fact that we have a lot of underprivileged boys that are really good sports wise. And I feel basketball or sport generally can get them that platform in which they're able to get free education, at least go to school for free, not really free education because there's nothing like that in
hmm,
Nigeria. Although we claim there's free education, but it goes hand in hand. If you're good, if you have a talent in something, then at least you have a chance.
yeah,
So the main idea with Grow is not just bring players together to come and play. The main reason we started Grow was to mentor student athletes, and this is inclusive of both female and male student athletes, and not limited to just the basketball team alone. student athletes just, and we have a lot of kids. Oh man, we have a lot of kids. Sometimes I feel like father of our nation, sir, because some of them are actually affiliated to some other academies, for some reason they just feel comfortable around the Grow family. Let me put it that way, because it's a family.
Yeah, like you said now, you're a people's person, so it's easier to communicate with you a lot more than most of the other guys,
Yeah.
coaches. But yeah. We're at the tail end of the interview, so let's just round it up with some rapid fire questions. What's your
Okay.
favorite food, Ogami?
Repeat encore.
What's your favorite food, you?
Ah, beans. You
Yeah,
notice why you asking me.
beans and plenty egg.
After how many years? How many years of eating beans back to back?
but,
I know say by now if I do work out, chicken they run for me.
but you know, sweet
It's
turn now.
all the chicken head.
Chop beans. You know, turn now. Eh? What are we doing? What are we doing there?
Bro.
Your go-to music before game.
Ah. So I'm torn between South African house mix and some Rick Ross. Like if you listen to Rick Ross, it will be like say if you break any wall. I tell you, not be recent Rick Ross, or like old school Rick Ross.
Because before you lose weight.
And they tell you, you go just vex. Like the kind of motivation where that guy get for voice. And the kind of bodies, bro. If you break through wall, like you just be like,
Anyway, final question. Your most
yeah.
memorable moment in sports.
Ah, this was with you actually. So
Ooh.
there was one game.
Hey.
There was this one game that we played. I think it was City League or something. That it was me, you, and Joy. That all you did was get the ball, fast break every time. That game was so funny because, ah, yeah, I think that's the most memorable for me. Actually, that's the most memorable for me because that was like the last game we played together as a unit
Yeah,
before everybody else started doing their nonsense. It's not nonsense per se, but everybody went like everybody go face
remember.
different things. But it was really very, very interesting because we had fun. We didn't have to do too much. Everybody was just playing based off their strengths, and weaknesses did not show. So I think it was that feeling of togetherness. It was a lot of it as a unit then. It was a lot of it, like back to back from hostel life to workout life to
So,
all the trekking to all the nonsense woman chasing. This is exclusive.
this guy just put us on blast. Are you for real? What the hell is wrong with you? Do you know how many people listen to this podcast? What is your problem?
Oh, but nothing but the truth. Let's say the truth. Don't let's mislead
Uh,
people.
I mean,
We're not all saints, bro. We're not all saints.
back in the day.
We're full-time athletes, but still, we still have time. We still have time for normal juvenile shit.
Necessary, man. It's necessary. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks a lot for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's a wrap for the first video coverage of Flat Out with Komodo. Thank you for tuning in. I enjoyed every moment of it, and I know you did as well. Definitely. At least it was enlightening, it was informative. And that was my guy, is a health and fitness consultant. So whatever you need, check him out on Bro Kinesis. We've been together for a while and he knows his stuff. He really does. Until next time, people, stay safe, stay frosty. Flat out.